Well, been a long while break from remastering these old videos of my Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film series for new viewers, hasn't it? Yes, it has. At the time of this re-recording of this, I had now settled down from all the monotonous hype Saban's Power Rangers movie had on most of all of us in the Power Rangers fandom. Not that I'm jealous in any step of the way of what Saban and Lionsgate is doing for older fans, while the TV show is there in the background and only now for little kids. The hype for Saban's movie had me think that what I have been doing with my fan films of Power Rangers Lost Galaxy for over the last 7 years had me like, if only I had this amount of hype like this for my thing, but someone's Power Rangers fan film that inspired Saban's and Lionsgate's was going to get the amount of attention, more of attention than someone's film where it's some Gaithersburg, Maryland local, disillusioned and reclused at that, making a Power Rangers movie where the characters are quote-unquote cardboard cutout dolls and other crap. Who the f*** wants to see that? Now look, I have stated in my 2017 movie reboot review video that I enjoyed the new movie. It's better than the last two Power Ranger movies that came out 2 decades prior, turbos aside, but I'm not saying my fan films of a Power Ranger series that I have much nostalgia for and still is better than what Saban did and is nowhere better than that god-awful Power/Ranger short film which was released 4 years after I made this Morphin Grid case study archive video for my fan film which was released 4 years prior. Enter the Stingwingers. The one of the 2 set of foot soldiers featured in Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, which are part of Scorpius and Trakeena's army of insects. Like in my originally recorded video, I will in chronological order do the Tretcheron video next, so have the patience for the re-release of the archive video for it. The archive video for the Stingwingers was originally 5 minutes short, so in this remaster and re-edit, I'll add on some material I had never added on to the original because the archive video for the Stingwingers was originally 5 minutes short, so in this remaster and re-edit, I'll add on some material I never had to add on to the original because when really, what else is there to say about these buzzbrains? There is 14 of these Stingwinger puppets in total as seen in the original archive footage of the original video, where they are standing right aside the Jerry Hall face at the time Trakeena puppet, by the way, who was in the middle. I made these Stingwinger cutouts when I originally made Power Rangers Lost Galaxy The Rise of Trakeena, and again when I was working on the fan film initially until I shut it down in favor of the 2014 reboot one. Although these Stingwinger cutouts that I made don't even have the paper fasteners for joint movements of their arms and legs, just stilted, like the ones that I have applied to my Trakeena puppet from at that time. Luckily, when I was then shopping on Amazon.com, again at the time, to see if they had any paper fasteners on their shopping site I can buy where I could afford them. And they did, but they were not the gold brassed ones I would buy later in the future for puppets in the later films for later years and mountain board pads that I usually make the puppets out of in time for these films. Oh, just to let you know, for correcting what I initially said there in the original video, for those who have watched it, I said poster board, not mount or mounting board. Poster board is flat poster paper. Mounting board is a little versatile and thicker than poster board. Yeah, I know. When I did the original video, there was when it has been only 1 year since I graduated from high school and wasted time away from whatever I was doing to try to make my presence fully known on YouTube, and as well as my presence in the Power Rangers fandom community. And here's something I also wanted to bring up in terms about the Stingwingers themselves, in terms of what they are, for those who don't know who the Stingwingers are, for new viewers who have never seen older seasons outside of the original series and my stuff for the first time. The Stingwingers are Scorpius and Trakeena's insectoid foot soldiers that have a sickle arm and can fly. The entire army was eventually destroyed when Trakeena had bombs attached to them in a kamikaze-related plot to destroy the Centaurus and Stratoforce Megazords. Yeah, and you know, for those who have never... Well, to be honest though, the Stingwingers, as much as some things are kind of passable from Lost Galaxy, the Stingwingers, as interesting as they are at the foot soldiers in my opinion, because yeah, I'm a sucker for insect-themed villains and insect-themed creatures and science fiction franchises and stuff, they were kind of there. You know, I mean, although I like their combat abilities, but I would say they're better, but they're still better than the Piranatrons in my opinions, and I kind of like them. These insect-like warriors have sickles for their hands and can fly with wings and on their backs. And everybody knows from the finale, Trakeena's entire supply of Stingwingers were exhausted when she sent them with bombs strapped on to destroy Terra Venture and the Power Rangers. Anyway, back to me with the Stingwingers in terms of fan film continuity, Marshverse continuity. What I did to make these Stingwingers, I had to, when browsing for what appeared to be a 3D printed recreation of the Stingwingers, if they were chibi sized, which I had found on DeviantArt at some capacity, I was looking to see if I could find a bigger size of the Stingwinger's head, and this was the only one. It's in CGI, and I think I might have found this head of the Stingwinger from DeviantArt. That I might be sure of. Whatever, it's been over a year at the time of the original's recording. 5 if you count this remaster, and 6 if you count the year 2011. Back when I was Google searching the Stingwingers when doing image searching all things Power Rangers related content, I was looking for the Stingwingers in terms of their design from the TV series as the foot soldiers of the Lost Galaxy villains, and I wanted a clear image and high quality version of the headpiece so that I would go ahead and make these puppets seem almost accurate to how they looked in the TV series. So apparently I found this and gave it a go ahead. I have the photo of the head image on one of my flash drives. The bodies of the Stingwingers are obviously not the same ones from the TV series. They are customs from the bodies of the Neo Viper foot soldiers from, yet again, G.I. Joe The Rise of Cobra. Apparently. So instead of using the actual costume designs of the Stingwingers, all I did was slap the Stingwinger heads to the bodies of Cobras as Neo Vipers, and bam, new Stingwingers. Reason for this was that I wanted to reimagine the look of the Stingwingers, and I made these originally. And when I made these originally, I didn't have any kind of material to make insect-like wings for them. So basically, these custom Stingwingers are pretty much wingless. I wanted to find material, even if it was paper made, to represent for the wings, but never got to because, well, I'll just stick to what I have for now. There's nothing on the back of them and the mount board color I used to make them was white mounting board from my old high school during that time. They were all out of black, as you can see. The Stingwingers for the reboots, on the other hand, are individual class foot soldiers, but they seem the same. So again, same old lazy and bored out of mind Anthony Marshall Jr. from back in 2012, that being me. Here's one of the Stingwingers pasted to blackboard, but the rest I've made were behind on white ones and the glue was wearing off on this one. I would glue it later, hence the wear from back then. I was thinking, since I only have 14 of these, I should make a massive army of these Stingwingers as a large collection. Well, I am at the time of this remaster is going to do so while I am almost halfway done filming Power Rangers Lost Galaxy The Wrath of Trakeena, and probably make about 14 or more of these, since even though in TV continuity back in the series finale of Lost Galaxy, Trakeena had already wasted her entire army back when under the Deviant influence. And again, I'm not pulling that off in this new film for the sake of fans' nostalgia for the season. That's been done already in the TV show, so don't ask me to recreate that moment. It would have been for what could have been a highly anticipated fan film for 2014, but accordingly in a 2013 video update, I decided to cut Trakeena and the Stingwingers from my first film, and eventually save her and the Stingwingers for my next Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film, which will eventually be for the 20th anniversary. I make no promises there. So that's if I'll do anything to honor the anniversary in 2019. Once I do finish and release my next Power Rangers Lost Galaxy fan film project, you will see what kind of footage I did shoot for the Stingwingers after 2 years of filming The Wrath of Trakeena, but not for the 2014 one, because again, change of plans later on down the road. Not much to say on the Stingwingers. They were alright foot soldiers for the most part, but hell, what Linkara said, even if they were boring, whatever. But that's that. That's not much to say about the Stingwingers, but I am a sucker for bug-themed foot soldiers in science fiction-based franchises like this, so who am I to judge? So that's all I have to offer until, as promised, when I will release my Tretron archive video.